We all love gaming, and while in the past we may have desperately bought a games magazine to get any games news or reviews, the gaming industry and the coverage around it has massively changed and evolved, for better and for worse. I didn't realise it at first, but it's crazy to think that PlayStation, Xbox and Nintendo all had their own official magazines, and they'd all give positive reviews to all their exclusive games. Reviews are supposed to be subjective, but there can be agendas or bias behind them. Some games companies will not only give out free review copies, but merchandise and treats for the game reviewers, in an attempt to subtly put the reviewers in a more positive mindset and get better reviews. If reviewers end up writing more critical or negative reviews, then some games companies will cut ties with the reviewers. There's so many possible layers of corruption or manipulation you might not have expected in your casual game reviews. While today there's a lot less gaming magazines in your stores, you still get written game reviews, particularly on gaming websites alongside video reviews. A lot of these big games news companies like IGN hire interchangeable staff to write the reviews. Maybe it'll be an expert on the franchise, maybe it'll be someone extra critical, or it could just be someone less experienced who has no idea what they're doing. It's sometimes a dice roll and you'll just get a mixed match of quality in reviews. And there's no consistency or weight to these reviews from an inconsistent team, and it breaks the whole review process for me. There was one instance where an IGN reviewer had been caught stealing another person's game review, word for word. It just blows my mind that they think they can get away with this and just massively tarnishes the reputation of organisations like IGN. That's why if I want to read or watch a game review, I'd rather hear a single dedicated person's experience, like Angry Joe. And if these are people you regularly watch, you know their tastes and areas of expertise. I'll go to specific content creators for specific genres of games. For example, I'd want to hear what the streamer and YouTuber Maximilian Dude thinks of the latest fighting game. When it comes to the content in a review, in some cases you can't fully discuss every aspect of the game without spoiling big moments. That's totally understandable. But you get these game reviewers that don't even finish the game before they review it. I'm not talking about getting 100% of every little side quest or achievement. They don't even finish the bare minimum of the main story or campaign. Why in the seven hells did these organisations hire these people to half-arse review the game? Well, it could be that they care more about getting the review out as soon as possible, as opposed to having a quality review. It's a mad rush to get your review out first, to get the most traffic and beat the competition. Digital stores like Steam allow regular users to post their reviews too. Services like Steam and Metacritic have user reviews that show the massive disparity between user and critic reviews. And on Steam reviews it actually shows the user's playtime on the game, which helps add weight to their opinion. And to be honest, I wish I could actually see the playtime of the big published reviewers, just to get a better sense of how much of the game they've actually played. A lot of game reviewers give a game a score, usually out of 5, 10 or 100. But it's really weird because it's rare you see any games score less than 7 out of 10. A lot of games companies play it safe when developing games. They'll stick to an existing format and not get so experimental like the PlayStation 1 era, which was a crazy wild west of games. But game reviewers also double down and play it safe, and most very rarely dip below a 7 out of 10. Metacritic is a website that compiles all these review scores together to create an average score. But here's the sneaky catch. Metacritic makes different reviews have different weight to the overall score. They could make an IGN score affect the average 2 to 3 times more than, say, Eurogamer, and it's because of this Metacritic is useless to me. Not to mention a lot of gamers will just be looking at the numbers, not the actual content and reasoning in the reviews. Quite a few game reviewers have abandoned the numbered score at the end of their reviews, and after doing this they report that readers spent more time actually reading the review instead of just jumping to the scored number at the end. When it comes to review scores, I do value an individual's personal review score, but I don't care for the review scores of a large company with ever-changing staff members, like IGN. Those review scores are not going to have any consistency. Maybe these game review companies should focus more on the reviewer themselves. Take for example IGN's latest game review for Back 4 Blood. Throughout the entire video the reviewer's name is never mentioned vocally, only displayed as a tiny little pop-up for a few seconds. It's poorly placed over the game's interface, so it's quite easy to miss. I think I'd care more and the overall review would have more weight if we put these reviewers front and centre, maybe put their name in the title too, let these individuals be responsible for their actions and build up a reputation while being a part of IGN, instead of just this mismatch of a mess. People do still read and watch game reviews. They're not going away anytime soon, but I feel like they're becoming less relevant. Sometimes if I'm considering buying a game, I'll just watch somebody livestream the gameplay on Twitch, and I like to judge the game for myself. you're going to get the more authentic real deal, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other gamers do the same. There's even been cases where I've discovered less popular games through people live streaming them. Live streams sound great, but there's been cases of certain games companies adjusting the game experience of streamers. For instance, Path of Exile's developers gave streamers the ability to skip login queues whenever there's server congestion, but after negative feedback they backtracked and don't do this anymore. But you can bet there's shadier companies that will do this and much worse. What if they made streamers' accounts get more rare loot drops to make a game more appealing and exciting to viewers or potential customers? There's also services like Xbox Game Pass now that give you access to a large pool of games to play. There's less need to actually read a review on a game, you're stripped of actually making any purchasing decisions, and you can try games freely. I generally wouldn't use reviews to decide if I should watch something on Netflix, the same goes for Xbox Game Pass. From my own experience in dabbling in reviews or even watching reviews, I found that there's a lot of gamers that don't read the reviews to decide whether or not to purchase a game. They've already played the game and they're seeing if the review aligns with their own opinion of the game. I'm guilty of doing this myself. It's fine to do this, but it just shows even readers or watchers of reviews have changed their mentality since the days of buying games magazines and scrounging for all the latest games news. Do you still watch and read reviews? Let me know in the comments. I find the most satisfying reviews are the entertaining ones, where content creators add a layer of entertainment whilst maintaining a serious and critical game review. It's hard to do. If this has been interesting or useful, boop the like button to help spread this to other people, or subscribe for more videos like this, and peace for now.